Hello, this is Max Wilson. Today we're going to discuss the OrchidShow plant registration system. This is a quick tutorial for how you can register your plants online at your OrchidShow. This tutorial is aimed for exhibitors who are going to put their plants in a display. This page is arrived at by going to ravenvision.ca/OrchidShow. Then this is a list of the shows that are currently in the system. We'll go to a complete one, which is the Southern Ontario Orchid Society show from Valentine's Day. So that was a little while ago, but I've reactivated it for the purposes of this tutorial. I'll log in as myself. Once you log in, you get this page, which is a basic home page, has some basic information. Essentially what it tells you is that there's 3 steps to registering your plants. First of all, entering them, then confirming them, and then finally submitting your entries into the system. So we'll start with step 1. This is the plant entry page. As you can see, this is the list of plants I currently have. There are no records there. So let's add a new plant. This page is really just a scroll down version of this one. So now we can decide what we want to put in. Let's say I've got a Phalaenopsis, and it's a Phalaenopsis equestris. And it's going to go into species because it's a species class. Okay, and it's there. Phalaenopsis equestris, listed in class 44, Phalaenopsis species, including species formerly known as Doritis. Let's do this again, and I'll go through it in a bit more detail. This time, let's enter a Cattleya. So C-A-T-T. Now you'll see a list of potential genuses, genera, have come up there to give us some help. The popular ones are on top, like Cattleya. And we'll call this a Skinneri. Well, I should point out that once you've selected the genus, the class list down here will automatically edit itself to just the relevant classes for this genus. So you're not going to be entering your Cattleya into a Paphiopedilum class accidentally. Hopefully. I'm going to call this a Skinneri. That's not how you spell it. Skinneri, I think. And as we know, that's a Cattleya goanthes species. Yeah, that's where it would go. I'm pretty sure. Because this is a pure species, it doesn't have any parentage. I'm putting it into Raven Vision 2. That's my default exhibit, because the one I contributed to. However, with this pull down, you could contribute it to any other display in the show. But that's up to you. Particularly if you're going to submit it to your society display or another society display, or loan it to somebody else because they've got a hole in their display, you can do that from this. Also, if someone has just handed you a plant to put in your display, so this is specifically helpful if you're coordinating a society exhibit, then you can just put the name of the grower there. Just in case he gets a ribbon or an award, this will allow proper credit to be given. So once this is entered, hit Submit Entry, et voila. We're back here. Cattleya Skinneri, class 15. Cattleya goanthes Sophronistes species. So now we've got 2 plants entered in our display. We're going to enter one more little thing. We need to enter our display. Always remember to make a entry for your display. By default, display appears twice because there has to be something in each of these fields. That's just the way it is for the moment. I would refrain from putting the name of your display in, because that will appear on the judging sheets, unless your display is like Springtime Fantasy, if your display is our Orchid Society, I wouldn't put that in, because then that'll appear on the judging sheets, and the judges are supposed to not know what's going on and whose displays are who, because it's supposed to be impartial. Anyway, so I put 1 to 2. I'll pick this display, this class 2A, which is a display of 1 to 10 flowering plants cut or cut inflorescences open competition. And I put that there. Submit entry. So now I've got 2 plants and my display in there. I should put the rest of them in, but this is getting redundant, so I won't. Great, so we put all the stuff in. Now we're going to confirm the entries. This just gives us a nicer list, so we can make sure that everything's right, including the enter for AOS. Did I mention enter for AOS? Let's go back and look at entering for AOS. So let's say the Cattleya skinneri. Did you notice what I did there? I clicked on the plant and it brought me back down to this screen so I can edit it, like if I want to put it into a different class or even to a different display. Or, as what I'm going to do now, decide not to have this allowed for AOS judging, because AOS judging, a plant in the show may be considered for AOS judging if it's an AOS judge show. And should your plant promptly granted an award, you'll be charged a fee of $30. Actually, I think it's more like $36 US these days, payable to the American Orchid Society for the processing of the awards. If you do not wish to pay this fee, then you should probably designate your plant as not for AOS judging. So that's what I'll do, not for AOS judging, because I don't want to pay that. And I've got plenty of awards, frankly. Whatever. So now we see it says no over here. Confirming the entries once again. It still says no there, as the way it should. Now then, if we're happy with all this, we can click submit. Last chance, submit entries. And that's great. Now, of course, you can always log back in and go on and change your entries anytime before the deadline, which here is Tuesday, October something, 2017 at 5:10 p.m. I'll fix that. That's kind of how it works. And once you get there, your plant tags should be ready and everything will be great. Thank you. Have a great Orchid Show.